The prosecutor against Donald Trump in this insane indictment has a very, very dark past. He has extreme levels of corruption. I'm going to show you that. But first, let's hear from Jim Jordan talk about the actual facts. Not the emotions, the facts of this case. Check this out.
Here with me is the chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, Jim Jordan. Thank you for joining me this morning, sir. The indictment does say, thank you. The indictment does say, as I mentioned, the documents included U.S. defense, nuclear capabilities, potential U.S. vulnerabilities to a military attack. They were kept in unsecure areas like a bathroom, a ballroom, a bedroom. And the indictment says that Donald Trump lied to lawyers, his own lawyers, which resulted in false statements to the FBI so that he could keep those documents. Is all of that, any of that, acceptable to you?
Dana, the standard is clear. The standard is Navy versus Egan, a 1988 case, unanimous decision from the court that Justice Blackmun wrote the opinion, and it said the president's ability to classify and control access to national security information flows from the Constitution. He decides. He alone decides. He said he declassified this material. He can put it wherever he wants. He can handle it however he wants. That's the law. That's the standard. And Jack Smith can do all this 37 different counts and whatever he wants to do, but that doesn't change the standard. The standard that the Supreme Court in a unanimous decision said was that he can classify and he can control access. He has the sole authority.
Donald Trump had the authority to declassify these documents. Point blank, end, period. Now let's talk about prosecutor Jack Smith's dark secret. He has been rebutted by the United States Supreme Court 8-0, voted against Jack Smith for his corruption and his abuse, his inability to prosecute within the bounds of the law. So Mark Levin of Life, Liberty, and Levin discusses this and brings it into context. The DOJ under Smith's tenure convicted a Virginia governor of fraud and illegally accepting gifts. But then the United States Supreme Court stepped in. They said, no, you have made the definition of official act so broad that it is not even relevant. It doesn't even work. Jack Smith is a hack. This guy was given simple instructions. His instructions were take out Donald Trump by any means necessary. Chief Justice John Roberts agreed with McDonald that the jury instruction of official acts at his trial was so broad it could include virtually any action a public official might take while in office, leaving politicians across the country subject to the whims of prosecutors. The whims of prosecutors. That's what this is. The whim of a prosecutor. This guy Smith has a record, Levin said, going after the former governor of Virginia, and then he's rebuked by the Supreme Court 8-0. Oh, by the way, the liberal justices. Now we know they're supposed to adhere to the rule of law, but they're left-leaning justices. They agreed that Jack Smith is corrupt. And then he did the same thing to Senator John Edwards in North Carolina. I believe John Edwards was a senator, where the jury turned against him because he's known for taking laws and pushing the boundaries as far as he can, Levin went on. And that's exactly what he did here with these pile-on charges, going behind attorney-client privilege and on and on and on and on. Serious constitutional concerns. And here's another thing. It's really ultimately Biden that could stop this. This is in Biden's court. He is in charge of the DOJ, which Merrick Garland is in charge of appointing a special counsel. We have not only a former president being indicted, we have the leading person for the presidential campaign against Biden. And Biden is allowing this to happen under his DOJ. This is pure political hacketry, making up words, partisanship, corruption. It's wrong. And the Supreme Court's going to step in and overturn this if this happens. But I don't think it's going to get that far. because a judge was selected randomly, and you know who it was? It's a Trump-appointed judge who previously sided with Trump on this document case. The president the Constitution is clear. The president, the executive power is vested in a president. They can declassify whatever they want. Any laws, policies that come after that are unconstitutional unless you amend the Constitution. Don't tell me about some policies at some random organization. I don't want to hear it. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you're on YouTube, follow if you're on Facebook or the other platforms. We'll be back soon.